Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another week of Bibbidi Bobbidi Bros. I'm Josh. This is my co-host, Pierce.
Heyo.
Today, we're going to get into a little news. This is officially our hard launch of the podcast. We have been doing a lot of work trying to get some type of format down. We've obviously had some technological kinks that are pretty much worked out, and we're going to start promoting it a little more, and we're pretty excited. I mean, we've had some good conversations so far. We had a trip in there, and now we're going to actually try to be as consistent as possible every Monday, releasing an episode so that we can see where it goes over the next at least year or so, and have some fun and talk good Disney and give you some advice from two dads who have been there more than our pocketbooks would love, but definitely a lot of joy there. So we're excited about this. I mean, I know there's a ton of Disney podcasts, but we're probably the best. And we've already got a lot of longtime listeners. So, check us out, give us a chance, and tell us where we suck so we can get better.
Yeah, I mean, I second all of that. I think this is going to be a lot of fun for us. It gives us a reason to hang out each week, and that's good. Just, we're two guys that have been best friends for a long time, and it's tough sometimes at our age to see our friends and all that kind of stuff. So this is a good reason to do that each week, and it's nice.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea since we're officially hard launching this. That maybe we should give a little bit of introductions again. I think I'm going to refer to this as like season 2, possibly, because the first season was like a prequel to what we're really trying to get in. We're learning as we go. But I'm Josh. I'm 41 years old, married to my wife, Steph. I have 2 daughters who are 12 and 9. We have been to Disney numerous times. We are Disney fanatics, not ashamed of being a Disney adult whatsoever. And we're very opinionated, Pierce and I. So you're going to learn more about our family lives. We like to talk about ourselves, probably more than is okay. And it's going to be fun. So what about you? Give them a little rundown.
My name's Pierce. I'm 41 also. My wife's name's Gwen, and we have 2 daughters, a 2-year-old and one that's about ready to turn 5. So, they keep us pretty busy all the time. We're also Disney people. We go just about every year, if not multiple times a year. And, I spent my honeymoon there. You guys did too.
That's true.
We are having our 10-year anniversary coming up this next year. Well, actually this year at the end of the year. And we're talking about like, how can my wife and I do another Disney trip and celebrate that way. That's what we think about when we think about vacations. There's other places we want to go and that kind of stuff, but Disney's always in the forefront.
And you'll hear about that. I pick on you a decent amount about your need to see the rest of the world, and you tell me you're just fine at Epcot. You will hear that at some point in this podcast.
I mean, just think of all the countries I get to see in one day.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah. But I will say, I think you guys, we're different types of fans in a lot of ways. You guys are locked in. Like, you get the things you like, and you go at those things hard, right? Like, those are your favorite things to do. And we're more of, I don't want to say less of a fan, but in some ways we are, because we do other things. But then when we go, we put everything into it. So not that you don't, it's just a little different how we approach Disney.
Yeah. We daily Disney. I mean, my wife and I try to come up with ways to have the Disney, excitement here at home. And we've had Disney dates where we've watched a Disney movie and made Disney food and done that. Yeah. And just because we couldn't go to the parks, because another thing is we both live in Central Ohio. So we're not
God's
a
country.
Quick drive. Yeah, God's country, right? The heartland. Not a quick drive down, it's a 15-hour drive or something like that, or a 2-hour flight. So it's not like an easy, jot over there. So we try to do a lot of Disney stuff around and keep that magic going in between trips. So
yeah, that's something you guys are definitely better about. I would say you are you're definitely, you live Disney much more than we do. Now, I
Yeah.
have plenty of Disney throughout my whole house. I am not, what I'm trying to convey here is I'm not like the average person. I'm much
No.
deeper into Disney than the
Yeah.
average. But you guys are like much deeper into the thing of it. I mean,
Yeah.
you live it every day, which is awesome because I get to come and hang out with you guys, and then I live it too. My family, one thing that you'll learn about us is that we are trying to take our kids to see every state in the country before my oldest graduates in, another 5-6 years. And we're 32 states in. We've got 18 to go. But that means we don't necessarily go to Disney every year, although we would like to. I say that, but then we find a long weekend to fit in there most years and make it work. And my plans are never to go there every year, but it sucks me in. And I'm the type that will live Disney as I get close to the trip. When I'm 3-4 months out, I'm Disneying it all the time.
Right.
But I think I miss it so much that when I live it every day, I'll end up just booking another trip and being down in Florida before you know it. And I have a hard time separating that. It's kind of like the day after Christmas. I'm depressed because I got to wait 364 more days. So try to leave it out of mind, out of sight, out of mind type thing. But yeah, so that's a nutshell.
I think there's also something to it that our kids are different ages because like our kids are, my oldest being almost 5. It's not, she has things going on, but we're not busy like you guys are. So we
That's true.
we can schedule out trips a little bit easier and not worry about missing like my kids' gymnastics meet or something like that. So
that has been a struggle because to not miss anything, we have July. And anyone who has been to Disney knows that it's one of the worst months to possibly go.
Right. Yeah.
It's hot. It's uncomfortable. It's packed. It's just everything you don't really want to have a great experience. And I don't like to preach too much on price, but like you're paying for a premium. That's what we love about Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting the best of the best and you want to make the most out of I'm a value guy. I want the most value that I can get for my dollar. And that means, as you'll learn here, Disney's a planning thing. To anybody who happens to listen to this and has not been there, you cannot just show up with park tickets and think it's going to go smooth. You're not going to walk in and easily get a reservation for dinner at most places. You're not going to get a great schedule with your rides. I mean, all these things play a part, and we get into that with our dad advice and whatnot. But I think I love that because one of my actual hobbies is planning my vacations. I live for it.
That is not one of mine.
That is your wife's though.
Yeah, she
it.
loves to plan a vacation.
I'm a spreadsheet guy. Not that you aren't. You do spreadsheets too, but I plan like a whole vacation. And I got a website. It's called Road Trippers that I do all my road tripping on. I got whole itineraries. I love it. Like that's how I get by until I actually get on vacation because traveling is my favorite thing in the world. So, I think you'll gain something out of that listening to this. Not that there aren't other great people who can offer it, but
right. And this is just two dudes talking. That's what all it is. It's like
really
we give news, and we talk about our opinions on that news, but we're not breaking news. We're not travel agents that's going to give you the most up-to-date advice. We're just giving our opinions on our, what we like and why we like it. And and from the eyes and minds of two dads that live in the heartland of America.
Well, with that, we're not selling you anything. Like not that you, we always advise you get a travel agent. There's a little half.
That actually was my dad advice today.
I just ruined it for you. So we'll count that for you today. I apologize.
But, my dad advice. Yeah, definitely always get yourself a Disney travel agent. Don't just get a travel agent. Disney travel agent.
Yes.
They're free. They do so much for you. Even if, you just need a confirmation that everything looks right or that you have some reservations you want to make sure you get or get a good opportunity. Get yourself a Disney travel agent. And if you want some ideas, put it in the comments, and I'm sure other people will respond, or we will.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that the important thing is you don't pay for it. But even so, a Disney travel agent wants you to book with them, right? Like that's just that's life, that's business, that's the job. From us, you're not going to get any kind of selling whatsoever. We're literally here just to entertain ourselves for the most part because we don't have that many listeners, and we do it just as an excuse to talk about our favorite thing and have fun and joke. I mean, heck, half the time we had an episode in the prequel series where we ended up talking about Harry Potter. That's not even Disney. I mean,
and that'll happen. That'll happen too. We're not always just going to talk about Disney. Our main focus is Disney, but life happens, and there might be things that we talk about, like I don't know, like soccer or gymnastics, what your girls are into, and that kind of stuff. So there's other stuff that happens. It's two dads talking. So,
yep, exactly. And that's what I think is going to be good. I know there are some other podcasts and shows that have two guys. I think a lot of it is couples. A lot of it is there's a lot of female content out there. But you're literally getting just two best friends who travel with our families. And hopefully that, relates to you and you can find some value out of that. And if not, just, don't leave us a bad review, Yeah. Keep it coasting.
But as you always we always say, like smash that bell, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Comment,
exactly, all that thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to get on TikTok. We're gonna get some videos out there, so engage with that, and
Instagram. You'll do something with that too, right?
We're going to get some stuff out on Instagram.
Yeah.
We've got like what do they call that? Like your promotional team from our biggest fans with Alyssa out in California.
Yeah.
She'll be a long-time listener of the pod.
Yep.
She'll be
big fan.
Yeah, biggest fan. So, you'll be hearing from all of us. Look out for her. She's probably already promoting it.
Yep.
And Ryan Riller, long-time listener of the pod.
Ryan Riller. Yeah, that's right.
I think that's his name. Sorry, I butchered that.
I have to ask my wife.
Epic artist. Does great stuff. He'll be at Festival of the Arts. Don't miss it.
Yeah, that's right. Coming right up.
We got all kinds of people. A lot of celebs. A lot of important people here.
Yeah, they just haven't started, liking yet, but hopefully one of these days.
I feel like in their subconscious, they know something great's coming their way. So
these two guys.
Yeah, these two lame dudes from Lima, Ohio. Born and raised.
That's right.
All right.
So you want to get into it then?
Yeah. We usually start off by saying if anything new is going on in our lives. I can say for me, we've just been busy with sports. Hasn't been a whole lot else other than that. It's cold here in Ohio. We're snowed in, kind of. I mean, everything's been cleared for over a week, but it's cold enough. I'm not going anywhere. So not going to get a lot out of me other than we did play golf last night, you and I, indoor.
Like simulator golf,
Simulator golf. Best golf I've ever seen you play, and I've been playing golf with you since we were like 16 years old. So that was fun. That was fun. We were making some killer putts. So yeah,
that was good. It felt good. My knees hurt today.
Yep. That's because we're 41.
9 holes of simulator golf. My knees hurt.
It's brutal. We play golf with our buddy Brad. He's a longtime listener, supporter of the pod. I think he said something like he wanted to start a Patreon so he could donate, but we'll have to get on that.
I'm pretty sure he was going to be at least the $5 level.
Yeah, a week. He said a week. I was like, do that 20 a month. That's pretty nice. Yeah. So
get us a couple coffees. So
Yeah, exactly. So thank you, Brad. Appreciate you, man. All right. What about you? Anything good going on?
I mean, nothing bad. I mean, it's all good. So just plugging away. Signed the youngest up for preschool in the next winter, so that'll be crazy.
Huge. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So at that point, well, at least it's only 3 days a week and half days, so she'll still be around. So
I understand.
It's crazy though. They grow up so fast, and you see those like TikToks or Facebook reels of like 1 minute they're this, and then they are like grown up. I'm like, I just start crying and whatnot. So
I don't like it.
I was hanging out with them tonight. So my wife Gwen, she plays volleyball usually at least one night a week, and she was playing tonight. So it was just, dad night with them. So I got a pizza from Costco, because that's what you
Oh,
do. And then
yeah.
we watched some of Treasure Planet, which I'm a big fan of, and
Okay.
just sat back and just enjoyed just watching them watch TV is hilarious because,
Yep.
it's like you're like snapping in their face and nothing. They're just glossy eyed.
Zoned in.
So
Yes, I
yeah,
do
yeah,
remember
yeah. And
that.
then I went into the kitchen to grab I think a pop or something, and my oldest Lily came running in. She's like, "I'm scared," and I went in and it was like, I don't know if you've ever seen Treasure Planet or
I
whatnot, or
have.
last time you
Yeah.
saw it, but there's like the one bad guy. He's like a bug, like I don't know. He's probably like a praying mantis type looking alien.
Yep.
And she was scared.
You
So I
know.
was like, I had to, like, it's make believe. It's okay. I'll sit with you again. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, just that kind
I
of
miss
stuff. It was a good night.
those ages. That's fun.
Yeah,
Those are the
I'm trying to
best.
enjoy every bit of it.
You
There's
have to,
definitely
man.
some things that like will annoy you, but for the most part, you know,
Yeah.
loving it.
That's life. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, another thing about our podcast is you tend to head up the news of the week
Yeah.
from Disney.
Yep.
We both kind of we shoot ideas off of each other, but then I let you kind of prep that part.
Mhm.
So unless there's something random, most weeks that'll be you, and I'll chime in with some info that I have. But I think we do have some big news this week. Like,
Oh, dude,
it's
you're
real
not
big
kidding.
for Disney.
I mean,
Yeah, so
it technically was like out there a couple of days ago that they were talking about it, but today is the day
yeah,
that Josh Tomorrow was announced as the next CEO, replacing Bob Iger, like sometime in March, like at the end of March. So
yeah,
that'll be interesting. I think it's we knew Bob was going to be leaving at some point, retiring. He was expected to retire at the end of the year. I mean, they'd already extended him, but he was
right.
expected to retire at the end of this next year. And I think he's going to stay on as like, you know,
Of
support or
course he
whatever
is.
yeah. Which
Yeah,
why wouldn't you?
I
But
know. Yeah,
yeah, I think it's good that they've picked somebody. I think it's good that they picked somebody internally. They didn't go to, some other company. Now, having said that, I mean Bob Iger, which I am mostly a fan of. Um, he came from what, ABC or whatever. So I mean, he wasn't like a direct Disney employee, like working in the parks or working on Disney movies or whatever.
right.
So, but I like the hiring. It feels cleaner than the Chapek hiring. Um,
Yes.
but everybody still has their concerns. I was reading the message boards, and it was all about like, you know, oh, he's just gonna take more money from us, and all this jibber jabber. Then there's people like, good, now you can bring back Dino Land. I'm like, no, bro, it ain't coming back. It ain't coming back.
The Disney boards are just
Uh,
they're their own thing. It's like a whole new
Oh,
world there, bud.
sometimes I just go on there just so I can see the craziness.
Yeah,
But I
it
think some
is.
people do have legitimate concerns because he was the president or director or whatever, I don't know, of parks.
Hmm.
And only prices went up
Yep.
since he's been doing that. We lost Fast Pass, I think, since he's been in that
Yep.
role, and they have the what's the Genie Plus Plus or whatever, they Lightning Lane Plus, the thing where you can buy and then you get the whole day, and it's
Yep.
super like $500 a person. Like that's been since he's been there. Um, but then again, like on the reverse side is I understand prices go up. All prices are going up. Everything feels expensive. But is Disney a commodity for everyone? Should it be available for everyone? Or is it something that, you have to save your money if you can, and maybe you'll get a once in a lifetime trip. Maybe you're lucky enough to go every 5 years. Maybe you're even luckier to go every year. You know, is it that type of thing? Because if not, then people are going to complain that it's crowded, right? Because
Yeah.
if it was
So
cheaper, more people are going to go.
yeah. So my take on this is just my thoughts. I'll get to that question.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good. Josh was the guy that they were going that everybody thought should have been it instead of Chapek.
Mm-hmm.
And while I think Chapek made bad choices, I think he was screwed either way. Looking back at that now from hindsight, he was screwed either way because just the climate and what they were up against wasn't great. He ended up being a fall guy. I think he tried to do too much at once.
And he was trying to cut a lot.
Yes.
And profit more in a time when probably wasn't best to be trying to do that. But I'm sure that was his the goals for him were put out was to, be more profitable and whatnot.
It was profit motivated. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you cut things and raise prices, what you have done is decrease value. And from a community of people who are already paying a big premium compared to, like, I go to a lot of national parks. I can do that trip way cheaper. It's a different experience. You're getting what you pay for. Don't get me wrong. I pay for it because I want to.
Right.
But I think that's what goes into it. Like when I had to pay for parking at the resorts, I didn't like it. I'll be honest. It rubbed me wrong. It really irritated me because it added another $100+ to my trip. And I didn't feel like there was any value in that, right? Like I can, the new Lightning Lane Pass ordeal, I can at least see that you get something out of that, right? Like,
and Universal had already been doing it for like 10 years.
Yes.
So charging you for it. So it's kind of like, it makes sense.
I didn't love it. Nobody's going to love paying more. That's just the nature of it.
But it's like when you look at things as like a realist type view, you're like, I get it. I don't always like it, but it makes sense. And you have to understand that things don't stay the same.
Yes, I agree. I do think, to your credit, about is Disney a place for everybody? I think the problem is that's how Walt promoted it from the beginning as his brainchild, was that Disney's a place for everybody. And at that time, in a lot of cases, if you could travel there, it was, right? Like you could do it at an affordable price. And as time went on, it got more and more popular. And even by the time I went with my mom at like 13 or 14, we knew that was a one-time trip for my mom to pay for us to go, because as a single mom, she couldn't afford to take us every year. That wasn't a thing. So Disney had already became you might go once in your lifetime. A lot of people were doing that route, right?
Right.
Social media, especially YouTube, has increased the popularity of Disney so much that now you have to be so involved to even go on that vacation successfully.
Right.
That it breeds an obsession of the community and it just gets more popular and more popular. To your point, if they lower the prices, it's going to be packed. And that's when I won't want to go. So it's a catch-22. I don't like that it costs more, but I also don't want to pay 20% less and then wait 200% longer in lines. So there's no good answer. They've created a product that is so popular, it has become a bit elitist.
Well, I mean, the demand's so high that there isn't enough, seats for butts.
But I also think this is why this turns people to start saying, when are we going to get a fifth gate? When are we going to get another park? Because the demand's there, and we could reduce the price and increase the attendance and still have the times down by basically adding another land.
They wouldn't reduce the price, but
But I mean, the thought is, if you wanted to provide more value, in our argument, it's not going to happen. You and I both know they're not decreasing prices.
No.
But if they did, you could get more people for, let's say you decrease the price by 20% as a number, like I said. You wouldn't have the 200% increase in wait times if you had a fifth gate. But really, what they're going to do one day is open a fifth gate and continue to raise the prices. And the way Disney
Yeah.
people are, we will keep filling the spots
And when we
because
say fifth
it's
gate, we mean at Disney World, a
yes,
a fifth park.
a
So
fifth park.
just to be
So
clear, yeah.
you have your Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and then there would be a fifth one.
Hmm.
Which for another day we should talk about what we would want. We've kind of been over
Yeah.
this before, but I love that
Yeah.
discussion. It's one of my favorites. What land would we want to be created?
Yeah.
What park? But I already know my pick, but we'll talk about it another time for something else. But I think Chapek was in a tough spot. I
Yeah, I
don't
agree.
think he
I
was
agree,
very good with the communicating, and that killed him.
yeah, and the slash and burn at that time was not good
No,
for it.
no,
Just made it, with the COVID and all that, it just made it that much
yep,
more. Like you felt it more, and everything was just already so negative. So I just
yes,
don't think he was the right man for the job anyway. It just doesn't, like, personally, he didn't like his personality. He didn't come across as the right man
yeah.
for the
That's
job either.
that's what I meant as communication. He
Hmm.
didn't come off as a guy who wanted to spread the magic. He came off
Right.
as a guy who liked Disney, even loved Disney, but wanted to be a successful CEO.
Yeah.
And Iger comes off as more of a dreamer, even though you and I
Hmm.
both know he's very much wanting to be a good CEO.
Yeah, and like I said, profitability. I mean, he
He's
raised
killed it.
prices on a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and I still think Iger was good. I mean, just think what the acquisitions they had in his tenure. I mean, they got
Yeah.
Marvel and Star Wars. I mean, movies going and everything like that. I mean,
Took
that's
over, what was it,
crazy.
Fox too? So now
Yeah,
we've
took
got,
over Fox, and I
I
think
mean,
did he take over AB? Did they buy ABC while
that
in
might
his
have
tenure
been,
also,
that might
and
have been,
ESPN?
I think that's before him.
That was like under Eisner.
I think it was under Eisner. Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know.
I see. I don't
Don't
even
quote me on
remember,
that, but
but I don't
yeah, I
know.
don't
I don't
either.
know. But either way, he did a lot. I mean, getting Marvel. I mean, look at what Marvel's become. I mean, it's
Yes.
crazy.
No, he hit
Um,
some major home runs,
mhm.
but since he's come back, he hasn't hit those home runs. It hasn't. It's a tougher climate, is my argument.
I mean, they
I'm
bought
not.
Fox since he's been back, right?
I believe.
So they have the rights to like the TV shows
My,
and the movies, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. My point being more that when he took over, he got Star Wars before he gave it to Chapek.
Mhm.
He got these huge heavy hitters that were
Right.
profitable.
Hmm.
Fox hasn't turned that. It will. I mean, the mutants alone and some of the other things they pick up are big hits.
Yeah.
It's just been a harder road for him, even with the public, than it was the first time around. The climate with COVID changed everything, and
Right.
I'm just saying, even if he would have stayed through that, it would have been a decline for him too. It was
Oh, I
not.
completely agree. I mean, there's plenty of things that I have. I don't want to come across as just a Disney homer as far as all this stuff. I obviously have my own connections, and there are certain things that I would not have done, and certain things that I feel like that they leaned on the consumer too much, especially during COVID. Um,
Yep.
Not so much like the rules they put in place, but more like just the price increases, the getting rid of Magical Express, which is ridiculous, and stuff like that, or charging for parking, like you were talking about before. All
Yep.
these things are just unacceptable. So, bringing it back to Josh tomorrow, I really hope that those increases don't continue. Those little those little small things that they just, oh, here's another $15 here and here's another
Yep.
$20 here and all that. It's one thing to just raise the price of a ticket by, $5 or $10. It's another thing to like nickel and dime. And raising the prices of tickets is you can say it's not nickel and diming because you're you're only
Managing
making
demand.
increases. Yes, exactly. And the price of things have just gone up. But
Yes.
when you add new fees and new costs, that's where you're going to lose people and piss people off. And
Yep.
and I've been right there with everyone else being like, honestly, I was disappointed by Fast Pass, becoming
Yep.
Genie Plus because I didn't want to pay for it, but I
Yep.
fully understood it, and I paid for the like thing at Universal, so that didn't bother me. But the other little things have really annoyed me. And like you said, I feel like a lot of it has been they've raised the cost, but we haven't got anything in return.
Yes. So
So
I want to piggyback off that. I was upset about the Lightning Lane old Fast Pass system changing and having to pay for it.
mhm.
I think what people would have been okay with, and the way they did things differently in the past, is they eased into it. Like, what if you said, "Hey, we're going to give you 2 Lightning Lane or 2 Fast Passes, and you can use those, and after that, you have to pay for them." That way, everybody gets an opportunity to feel what it's like to skip the line and the waiting for their favorite ride.
You can have one primary and one secondary for free every day, and then after that, you can just pay for the Fast Pass and
Have it
Fast
unlimited
Pass
or
Plus.
whatever.
Yeah, why they
Right.
changed the name was dumb too. But anyway, continue.
Well, and that's my next point. Basically, I'm saying for all these families who only get to go once, I'd like them to be able to have a chance to experience that, because there is something fun about when you're down a busy ride and all these people are waiting, and you look back and you're like, "I'm glad that ain't me. I'm walking this Fast Pass Lightning Lane, and I'm glad that ain't me." It's fun.
It's like those memes that are like, I'm not rich, but I'm not 120 men that's poor or something like that.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Which, like, I somewhat understand that. Like, we talked about this before. We're not going to wait 120 minutes for a ride. We're too old. Like, I say we're too old. We're not old, but we've gone
I'm
enough.
impatient.
We're privileged enough. We're privileged enough to have gone enough Disney that we don't have to do that.
I'll skip
always
it.
look at it as there's another trip on the horizon. So if
Yeah.
there's a new ride and we can't do it because it's a 2-hour wait, then we'll get it the next time around. And yes, that is a privilege of ours, but that's also the life decisions we've made too, that we're going to spend our monies on those trips.
I mean, I save all my money for traveling, and that's how we've always been, and that includes Disney. So there are things we all sacrifice. Now, we're comfortable, so don't get me wrong. I know there are other families that aren't, but I could be using that money for other things. I opt to use it for that.
Yeah.
So, but with, Josh Tomorrow's promotion to CEO, what I want to see more than anything, and because he's a parks guy and will have the authority to do it his way, I hope he considers making things simpler, because what the people who are going for the first time, I had friends who went, they didn't plan, they didn't understand the nature of it. It was complex. You know, when they showed up, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, something like that, like the worst day at Disney you can go. It was one of those days where you see pictures where there's not an empty space down Main Street, and everybody is just slowly shuffling in, and it's chaos.
Right.
They're never going back. That's a potential person that would have come back if we would have simplified the process. And now they do a lot, and they try. And this is why we advise getting a Disney travel agent, because it is at 6 months, if you really want a very popular, a popular place, you got to go. You got to get on it right in the morning and try to book it.
You really need to be out on it 9 to 11 months out. So for your best opportunity to get the things you want to do, you need to be on top of it. And that's another thing that you're kind of talking about, making it simpler, is that it's a difficult thing to plan trips out a year in advance. Like my wife and I do it, but that we do it because we want to go to Disney. Like we do it for going to like Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, that's how
we do it for all our trips.
That's how I am.
So
too. Yeah,
I mean, we just start getting our vacation time planned and getting our where we want to stay and all that stuff pretty far out. But not everybody has that ability or knows to do that or has had to do that in the past.
That's my point.
Yeah, it sneaks up on you.
And there's different dates. Okay, 6 months out, you can get your reservations for dining, and then X number of days out, you can book your lightning lanes, and simplify the whole thing.
Yeah,
if you can. And then there's also And I think they need to find other ways to provide value. This is a hot take that not everybody's going to agree with, but you get to book out. I'm going to try to simplify this for everybody. You get to book out if you're staying on a Disney park, unless this has changed. If you're staying at a resort on property, you get to book out things for your whole trip on the first day of availability. So if you have an 11-day trip, 6 months out from your first day, you can book meals for the whole trip. So it's technically, if you want a meal on the last day, you're going to be able to book 6 months and 10 days in advance.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not on property, you don't get that.
Right.
And you only get it at 6 months. So every day you got to get on and book the first day, the second day, the third day. I just think it's complicated. I realize why they do it. I'm not an idiot. Like, there's value there. But I think there's probably better ways to provide value than to make the whole planning complicated.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people they are losing to who find the whole thing to be too stressful and complicated to even deal with, so they don't go. They just go to like Busch Gardens
or they make their one trip and they're,
and they're done.
Take their kids and they spend, $10,000 or $15,000 on a trip and go, that was cost too much and wasn't worth it, and I'm never going back.
And I had a lot better time just going to Destin and hanging out with my family at an Airbnb. Yeah. Well, because if your vacation is supposed to be relaxing, don't go.
And I do think that is a good travel agent for a new person. They should explain that to them. Like, this is, you can have a relaxing Disney trip.
You can.
I mean, my wife and I took a relaxing Disney trip where it was relaxing for us, I should say. We spent 2 full days at parks, like from rope drop to they're kicking us out. And then on the beginning and end, we had quiet days where we went around and we resort hopped and did shopping and that kind of stuff. So you can do a more relaxed trip. I mean, they have spas and everything there. They've got great pools and putt courses and real golf courses. They've got water parks, all this other stuff. So there's plenty to do. There's plenty to shop, all that kind of stuff. So you can
make
do
a whole vacation without even going to a park if you're that type of person.
I mean, my parents go down to Florida. Yeah, my parents go down to Florida every year, and they go to Disney Springs, and that's good enough for them.
Yes.
So
and that's okay if that's what you want to do. But if you're going there and just hanging out at the hotel, I would argue that you could go to another place on a beach and get the same experience for a lot less money per day.
And
you just
probably less hassle too. Yeah.
But if you're someone who's going with a big group of family and you've got some people in your party who want to go with family but don't want to go to the parks, Disney can do that really well. Like, you can go do other things and have a good time and meet up for dinner or whatever. And so I don't want to take away from that. The Disney is somewhere for everybody and every age and what have you. But I think it just would be a better experience if your goal is to have a better you want your people to your customers to have a better experience. Simplify the process. They are very smart. It doesn't have to be this difficult.
Do you think like it would help if there was like so like with DVC, we don't have DVC. It is definitely one of the things that my wife Gwen and I talk about all the time is like, would it benefit us? Or is it going to be something where we feel like, it's any other vacation club where you're kind of tied to it and you don't want to be, and you're overpaying for stuff that you don't really need to pay for. But on the reverse side, would it be nice if like you got an email anytime you booked from Disney, right when you booked, if they sent like a complimentary email, kind of saying like, basically like a survey for you. Not just so much like a survey of like, the first question is, what are you looking for in your vacation? And then it's like, I want to go to the parks one day for my 5. It'll be listed like for your 5-day trip. And then it's like, and then it breaks down and then it kind of gives some feedback on what you might want to do. And it's definitely one of those things you could just as a customer go skip and move on. Do you think something like that would be helpful to kind of give some advice?
Valuable. If it kind of tailors the trip to the vibe you want, I think that's probably helpful. I think you can get more with a travel agent, but once again, not everybody knows that travel agents are free.
Exactly.
I
And
mean, that's something that nobody
I don't
knows.
know
A
if
lot of people
Disney
don't
like
know.
promotes that travel agents. I don't know if
Why
they
would
do or
they?
not because I've used one since I didn't use one for our honeymoon because I didn't know. But then
Yes,
after that trip, I knew.
same, same,
So
exactly
yeah,
what we did. But why would they? Because then they're going to pay 10% or whatever of what they made from me to that travel agent, and they'd rather
yeah,
you just book it yourself. That's why they're
hmm
trying to beef up the app. But now they're realizing everybody's on the app the whole entire time they're at the
yeah.
park, which I do think is one of the worst things about this, and why I wish you could simplify it.
Do you
Um,
think it? I have thought about that too. Here's another idea. So in the parks, now this is going to be one of those things that I think are going to annoy a lot of people too. But in the parks, so imagine when you go to a mall. You go to an outdoor mall or whatever, or indoor mall, whatever, and there's those kiosks that have like you are here, and you can click
yep.
on them, and they're touchscreen. Do you think it would behoove them to have those throughout like Magic Kingdom, like maybe 8 or 10 of them throughout Magic Kingdom that shows wait times, shows you where the bathrooms are at, all that stuff, so you don't have to constantly
Mm.
be on your phone?
It could be nice. I think that works for everything but your lightning lanes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, but I mean, this would be more beneficial to what's busy right now. Like I have my next lightning lane is in 48 minutes. So I
yes.
have 48 minutes and it's going to take me 10 minutes to get there. So what can I do? Is there anything I can do? What
Yeah.
restaurants are right here? What quick services? All that kind of stuff. Is there a snack cart? Where's the popcorn? We've talked about that. It's using the app
So
is better, but it's still like it'd be nice, I think, if there was something like that, I
what
guess.
what I think is going to go to, and I don't know if this is right. I know they're working on this problem though. It is acknowledged to be an issue. I think as we see glasses become more augmented reality, that
Mhm.
is going to be the preferred way, that you're walking down and saying, "Hey,
Just like,
uh, what way? Give me directions to the popcorn refillable
mhm.
buckets," and
Yeah,
it'll light up a path for you in your glasses, and you follow
right.
the path. Why? So
But
you
that's
can
not
still
accessible to
experience things.
everybody. But it's not accessible to everybody. And
It's
and
not.
maybe one day everybody will have a pair of, you know,
Yes.
lenses that you don't even see in their eyes that they just can see and hear and all that. But that's not now. And the problem
I
is
will.
now.
The only argument I'm going to make with that is that uh, two things. One, we didn't all have cell phones in our pockets, and now everybody
I
does.
agree. Yep.
Now that's years down the road.
But that's
Two,
also complicated per you. That's also complicated it.
yes, yes. Two, though, uh, I think Disney sees opportunity in everything and sells you the glasses. And you come into the park, here's glasses for $100. Once they get
Yeah.
to that affordability, wear our glasses, and it'll Bluetooth to your phone, and the app will take you where you need to go.
See, I don't know
And
if I
it'll
I
only
don't know
work
if
in
I
the
can really
park.
get behind that. I mean, they already sell you magic bands, new ones for like what, $70, $60, the fancy the magic
That will be the
band
magic
pluses.
band, though.
Yeah.
That'll be the
So,
magic band.
but I just don't know how that you can. I don't know. I don't know if I fully buy into that. Um, I remember when fast passes were on paper and you
I
had to
loved
scan
it.
them in, and
Yeah,
I hated it. I
I
hated that.
liked it. I
I
kind of
didn't
like.
like
I
it
did hate going
because
to the kiosk to get them. I didn't like
yeah, you
that.
had to. So basically, I have to walk all the way to a kiosk, and I didn't know how long the wait was going to be, like when my fast pass was going to be. So I'd walk all the way to the kiosk, and then the fast pass it wasn't until like 8 o'clock that night, and then you
Hmm.
have to decide at that moment: do I want to use up my fast pass for the rest of the day for this one ride,
Right.
or do I just want to go do something else and try to walk on this ride? And that
Yeah.
didn't work either. So I love the technology around it. I just wonder if there would be a nice, like I said, with the kiosk or some other way that instead of me constantly have to like lift up my phone, I can go, oh, there's a kiosk right there, or oh, there's something, some way of me knowing, even if it's like wait times. Like so when you take a right to go to Tomorrowland and there's wait times up on a board right there that shows you all the like when you go to a mall and there's a parking garage sign, and it tells you how many slots are available. Well, instead of the
Hmm.
slots, it just tells you all the wait times. I think
Yeah.
some of that, like visually,
No,
it's not
it would
great.
help.
But visually, it's not great because you are covering up the sites that you're
Yes.
going to see at Disney, and in some way, it might be popping the bubble for some folks. But I think in the end, I think it would just be, I do think it would get you out of looking at your phone all the time. Because if I was walking along Main Street and I'm like, hey, let's go check out Tomorrowland, and I hadn't got my phone out, and there was a thing that had all the wait times, and all the wait times were like, over an hour, but Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin or Space Mountain or whatever that's over there is like 15 minutes, I'd be like, hey, dude, we should go. This is our moment. And I don't even have
Yeah.
to get my phone out. I can just, you know, head that
No, that's
way.
true.
So just an idea.
I wonder if people would use it. We are addicted
Yeah.
to our phones, or if they would just
Yeah.
use their phone and say, screw it. Maybe
Yeah.
Disney one day goes to a thing where they plan your whole trip out for you and it adjusts on the fly. And when you get done with the park, you look at your app and it says, you're going here now. This is your time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this ride's down, so we've adjusted your trip. And they take out they take out the managing it yourself, and they just tell you where to go. I don't know if people are going to complain about that too.
I mean, that's definitely a good use of, like I say, good use. I mean, take that for what it is, but a good use of AI. I mean, AI
Yeah,
could definitely be built to provide that. That's not a bad idea. I mean, you don't have to follow. You can say skip or
sure.
input like, we want to eat now, so we're going to
Yeah,
go to the Coral Reef at Epcot and
right.
just stop in and have a quick hour long bite.
Yeah.
And what I mean, like I guess you could do that. Um, that's not a
Well,
bad idea.
it's going to be interesting to see what Josh
Hmm.
does with it, because
Yes,
I
I
think
agree.
he's the first time we've had a CEO who is parks central focused,
Yeah, and they
and
also
that's exciting.
added. Who's the lady's name? I got it here on my iPad. Dana
Walden,
Walden.
yeah,
Yeah, she's going to be the chief entertainment officer. Is that what it is?
creative officer,
Chief.
something like that.
Oh, chief creative. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah,
That
something like
makes more
that.
sense. So that's interesting to get somebody to be, almost uh, like a duo in a way.
Yeah, yeah,
Kind of like
because they were like
uh,
core something before. I thought like
I
they
don't know about that.
shared role at one point. I don't remember. Maybe I'm
Oh,
misspeaking.
okay.
Don't quote that, but I think they
Yeah.
work pretty well together nonetheless. So I'm hoping it's a pretty seamless transition. I think when Iger came back, I think this was the plan for the most part, was Josh was going to take this over. It's what the Disney
They
fans wanted.
you just yeah, well, you say that there are plenty of people out there that are not excited because he's coming from a point where they raise prices so much. So there's a
Let
lot of people
me,
that aren't excited, but I do think a large majority of the Disney fandom are like, let's give him a shot and see what
they're
happens because
optimistic.
he is
I
a
will
parks
say,
person. Yeah.
I think that was what Disney fans wanted instead of Chapek. Now, after that, they raised prices even with him running parks, and I think people are
Mhm.
tired of that. That's
Yeah.
not going to change. It's just until the demand goes down, that will not change. So, and I don't see the
Yeah.
demand going down. I mean, I don't.
Right.
For
I mean,
everybody who
and
quits going to Disney, someone new starts going to Disney,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just a revolving door.
It's like season tickets for the Packers. There's always a line waiting to get in.
Exactly.
And I do I'm sure there are days they don't sell out. Plenty of days they don't sell out through the year.
Yeah.
But if my understanding is they're not built on selling out.
They
You
shouldn't
know,
be.
they're built on a certain amount of or a certain percentage of capacity. So their goal is to at least reach that and try to get to max. But
I'm
when you
sure
get to
they
max
have an ideal.
capacity,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say when you get to max capacity, the reviews go down, and it's like
Yes, I was going to say,
there's a correlation between the two.
I'm sure they have a max capacity and then they have an ideal capacity. And that
Yep.
ideal capacity is where, hey, it runs smooth, everybody has a good time, and we're still maximizing profits as best as we can. Like,
Right.
there's a happy medium. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. I'm sure we will be reporting on it, Pierce, because we are crack shop
reporting
journalists. Yes.
Yeah.
You know it, man.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm excited though, just to because I feel like transitions at Disney have always been weird. So just historically, so I feel like this is actually like a fair transition. You're taking
yep.
somebody that used to just work in the park, like at Disneyland, and
Just
you're
an
putting
employee,
them. They've worked up all these years, so they've learned so much about the Disney company from the ground floor,
Yep.
literally, to here now. And a lot of people talk about how like he's really pleasant, like he introduces himself and says hi to people in the parks and all that kind of stuff when he's there just walking around. And that
Yep.
is like, that almost feels like a warm hug, like you're like,
Yep.
I have to trust you, but I'm a little more open to trusting you to take my favorite thing.
Cautiously
And
optimistic.
yeah,
Yes.
instead of like terrified.
Well, it almost feels like there's hope, I think, that he's
Yeah.
one of us. He's one of us that is now getting to run the parks.
Yeah.
If that's accurate, I don't know. He has a job to do for shareholders, don't get me wrong, but I do think he will try to bring more I don't want to say happiness, but more where people are more satisfied. Bring more satisfaction to the experience, more magic. I do think we're going to see that.
I hope so. I do wonder on the reverse side of that though, like because he's a parks person, how is he going to manage all the
Yeah.
other entities?
Yeah,
And
that's going to be the
is he gonna stay in his lane some and let the Disney Plus people and the theatrical people kind of do their thing? And how much is he gonna stay involved with the cruise line? Because I know that was his previous role, as
yeah.
being part of the cruise line too. Like how much of that is gonna be on his plate, or is he gonna be gonna be passing that off too and just trying to be the big head, or is he gonna be kind of still hold on? It's kind of reminds me of like when like in sports and football, like if a defensive coordinator becomes the head coach and then they
Yes.
become the head coach, how long do they continue to keep calling the defensive plays before they hand
Right.
that off to their new defensive coordinator? So
Or
I'm kind of wondering that transition.
how short is the leash on the new
Yeah.
guy before
Yeah.
they jump back in and say this isn't right type thing. Yeah.
Right. And he's young. He's like what, like 54 or 55
He's
or
going to be
something
there.
like
If
that?
he's successful, he'll be
So
there for a very long time.
yeah,
So,
and I think I think I would imagine if he's successful, like a lot of Disney people would want him to stay,
yep.
for the till the end of his, his working days or whatever. So
Yep.
I could see, that type of success would be the goal. I mean,
Yep.
I think anybody, even people that don't like him, would want that to be the goal because that means
Yeah.
it's a thriving business and
And
there
it's fun
isn't
for everybody.
shortcomings. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting. If nothing else, I'm intrigued. I wouldn't say that I trust everything. The environment is what it is. I think that I don't know of anybody else that would be better off the cuff from I've read things on who are potential successors, and he's always seemed like the guy to me. He should have been the guy last time, and I'm kind of glad he wasn't because he probably would have gotten crushed with the environment that he was put in. So
yeah, and he
maybe
might not have been ready. Also, I think that was part of the thing with last time is that he didn't have enough experience in other entities. So
yeah,
I think that was one of the things that I was reading anyway. Whether you take that for what it is, but Iger's been like, trying to teach him the ways of other things. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pumped for it. We'll see.
Yeah, I am too.
I don't think it's going to get worse. I don't know if it's going to get drastically better, but I don't think it's going to get worse.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of exciting things coming too. Like the amount of money they're spending on the parks in the next 10 years that Iger announced 2 years ago. I mean, there's crazy stuff coming, so that'll be fun. And just how does that get balanced out and how does that all get handled is going to be interesting. And either way, we're along for the ride, whether we're here doing it or just going to the parks.
I mean, we're going to be going to the parks either way. I think you jump prices and we're still going to pay. So
yeah.
All right. Well, let me jump into my dad advice.
And before we go, I do want to do a quick recap on our trip that we've been talking about the last few segments. So you go ahead and do your dad advice, and then we'll talk about the trip.
Yeah. So my dad advice was pertaining to the Disney dining plan. Another thing that's complicated, and I wish they would simplify, but um, from nearly everyone's experience, I get asked this a lot. Should I do the dining plan for people who have never went?
Hmm.
If you're going to get an alcoholic beverage every time you sit down at a meal and you're going to eat the more expensive items, sure. If you're someone who just wants peace of mind, you want to pay for it and be done with it, sure. If you're someone who's just going to share a meal, which we like to do because you can eat different things and share things, if you're someone who's going to um, get the less expensive items, you'll never get your money's worth out of the dining plan. You're better off
Yep.
just buying, to have the peace of mind, buy gift cards and pay for it with gift cards. Then it's paid for
Yep.
already, off your mind and done. But I had a couple people ask me that within the last month, and I thought that's a pretty good one to touch on here.
Yeah,
Not great for
and
the segment, but
well, it's fine though. But a quick thing about that is like I do think the value of the dining plan, going back to bringing it into what we're talking about, is I think it's been devalued. I feel like it used to be a better deal.
yeah,
That's one of the things that I wish they would drop the price with more.
yeah,
But then again, like why? Because they've already got you on property or wherever in the bubble. So if
yep,
you're already spending your money anyway, it just doesn't make me want to spend on lavish restaurants.
yeah.
I go to Disney and I eat spring rolls. You know what I mean? So,
Dude, I
you
love
know,
those spring rolls, baby. You
yeah.
know
So
that.
I
I think
mean,
you bring them
popcorn and
up on
spring rolls.
purpose.
No, but they're like one of my favorite things, or like the
They're
Nutella
so good.
waffles, or there's so many things to eat there that, and your time's limited at Disney, so it's hard for
Yes.
me to just like every day want to sit down for a heavy
No.
meal.
Yeah. No,
So
I
I don't want to
I
do that.
wouldn't.
So I
But I
I
would
don't
if
know.
I
I
had
just
an
don't see
affordable
it.
dining plan. If the dining plan was affordable, I would make time for it probably.
I don't think I
I mean,
still would. I mean, I remember when we went on our honeymoon. Gwen, she just felt like she was overeating every meal. I know
well,
I
there's
gained like
that.
10 pounds on that trip.
You're gonna do that. That's for sure. Because when
Hmm.
it's paid for, you just
Yeah,
like,
and
well, I'm gonna eat
that
what I
was 10
can.
years ago. That was 10 years ago where I actually feel like the value was there. Now I
Yeah.
don't.
Well,
Like
now
you
the
said,
value's not there.
if you're not getting alcohol, what are you going to
Yeah.
do? And then also, like, you don't want to get your kids a dining plan because I don't
Yeah.
think that's. I mean, it's a cheaper price, but it's not. I don't
It's
know.
hard to justify.
Especially when your kids are only eating, fruit roll-ups
Yeah.
and crackers like fish crackers and stuff like
Yeah.
that and Teddy Grahams. You're
Right.
not going to pay for a whole dining package. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know. But I agree with you. I think you got to check into what you want, and I think if you really looked into the numbers, you probably would not get the dining plan.
Agreed.
So
Yep. Okay. So that's that. Okay, so to round us out for the end of this episode, let's talk about some of the highlights from our recent trip. Just to let people know, Pierce was there for 11 days or so. I came in the last 4 or 5, met up with him for the last 3, and surprised him, which was a lot of fun. And just want to get your thoughts on what were the highlights? Like, what were some of the best experiences? What did you think of the overall, length of your stay?
Mhm.
Did you do anything differently? Was there any great food you suggest to everybody? Just give me some of your heavy hitters.
yeah, so I think my 11 days for me is too long. My wife loves it and would go longer if she could, if we could. But I think for me 11 days is a little long. I mean most people don't go for 11 days. So I'm probably more like maxed out at like 8 or 9 at best. I'd probably like a week, like a 7-day vacation, I think is good for me. Um,
Okay.
because by the end, I was dragging. Now I did get a little bit of a cold at the end, but I was kind of dragging though, and I think the girls were starting to get a little tired too, and just like the same waking up in a hotel room and all that, and um, but our stay was great. We stayed at Art of Animation, and it was great as always. We had a suite there because my mother-in-law stayed with us too, so that really allowed us to have a little extra space for an 11-day trip. That was great. Um,
Shout out
We
to
really did a
Trisha,
good job.
long-term listener
Yeah,
of the
shout
pod.
out. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's right.
One of our biggest fans. I'm one of her biggest fans. I have a deep love for Trisha, so shout out. Hope you hear that. I appreciate the Christmas gift, by the way.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and she's just a nice lady. She's just a nice lady.
She's a
she
wonderful
really helps us
lady.
out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
She's a wonderful woman. Yeah.
But she really helps us out, obviously, on our day-to-day basis, because she watches our girls throughout the week. But on these trips, I mean, it's just one more set of eyes to keep an eye on them and get them their waters or whatever, get them. Yeah.
I mean, she's a world-class grandma, so why wouldn't you take her?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Top notch.
So, but I think the good thing that, there are so many good things about our trip, but one of the things my wife did, she plans all this stuff, and I'm like a full passenger princess. So, but one of the things she did was she spaced people out. So her best friend Alyssa was on the trip at the beginning, and she stayed with us in our suite. So it was nice that got spaced out, because basically she left. There was a day in between, and then you guys showed up. My parents showed up, and my brother and his wife and two girls showed up then too. And then it kind of like let two different things happen on the same trip. So that was really good. I think that worked out well.
I mean, your wife's exceptional at planning, so that's not a surprise.
She is. This is why I don't even worry about it. Like I give my input, but it's
sure.
It's not always asked for, but I always give it.
I see. Well, yeah, you do that a lot in everything in life.
Yeah, not just Disney.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, it was a good experience. There was a few things that I didn't like, but then for the most part, everything was great, and I had a great time. And our wives are going together here in a few weeks, I guess, and they're gonna have a blast. And and then, like I said, we're planning another one at the end of the year, and you and I are already talking about taking a whole family one, like your family and my family, again in a few years when the girls get a little bit older. And so it was one of those trips that my kids won't remember, but I've got so many photos and so many mental pictures and so many moments that, only Disney can give some of those things. So I'm super jazzed about it, and I can't wait to go back and do it all over again, which is something to say after an 11-day trip.
Yeah, for me, there were a couple highlights. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. We talked about that in the last episode. Check that out. Wonderful experience. I'll advise it to anyone with kids under 13, especially girls. I enjoyed watching you suffer through Woody's Rodeo Roundup. I always mix that name up. But
the Roundup Rodeo Barbecue.
Roundup Rodeo. You do not overeat anywhere on this planet like you do at that restaurant. It's all you can eat. Family style food, and Pierce eats enough for a whole family. Yeah,
I do. I do.
You enjoy more than you wish. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I do. So, every time.
I felt bad for you, but at the same time, I'm like, this dude is living his best life. He's
suffering,
bro. But I had a great time, especially because your kids are a little older, and I got to enjoy a different experience, even than when I went the last time and Lily was younger. Now that she's older, the experience of riding Soarin' with her, she's 4, and she's narrating the entire thing. She goes, "Hey, here come the elephants, told you." Cracks me up, man. I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right." She wrote it a lot. So just stuff, you know what we talked about in our last day at Magic Kingdom. We didn't ride hardly any rides. We went and saw a bunch of characters. That's nothing that any of us 4 adults would choose to do. Right. And I do like the characters. We'd see maybe 1 or 2, but we wouldn't spend our whole day that. But it might have been one of the best days I've had at any park. I really enjoyed it. Clearly it was a good day for you, because it was on your you were leaving the next day, and you still had a great time.
Yes.
Overall it was fun. I will definitely do it again. I enjoyed it. I'm going to train for the 20,000 steps a day beforehand. My shins the one night hurt so bad I couldn't fall asleep. And this is from a dude who's done this numerous times, but clearly my body doesn't recover like it did.
Yeah.
The first time I went with Steph,
Yeah.
and my honeymoon. I'm not. It's not the same. I was like, if these turn into shin splints, I'm screwed. Like I'll never get around for the next 2 days. So I think I will prep for that a little bit. That's another good piece of dad advice. Buy good shoes. If you don't have good shoes, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Spend the extra money on a good pair of running.
I mean,
or
you say
walking
that, but
shoes.
I wear Crocs, so
You do, but you
just-
also, when our trip, you bought tennis shoes, and you're like, oh my God, my feet feel so much better in these. So there is some validity to it.
Yeah.
Not to say you have to. I walked around in Crocs for my Halloween outfit too, but don't go with holy shoes and stuff. Like just be prepared for a lot of walking. But yeah, I had some of the best times of my life. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved getting to see your family. Got to pick on your dad a little bit and your mom, and I love them. And, just fun.
Yep, it's one of those things that you never know when it's going to be your last time to spend these moments with people. You always hope there's going to be another one, so you just got to make the best with the time we had. And I thought we had a really good time. I thought everybody, made the best of some of the more nervous moments, and then we had a lot of laughs, and that's what it's all about. Ate a lot of good food and all made it back safely. So that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, man. Can't complain.
Nope.
I'd give the whole trip a 9 out of 10. There's the kitchen sink that irritated me a little bit.
Oh, see, I'm straight 10 out of 10. It was great. It was too long, but that's not the fault of the trip. Well, it is 10 out of 10. I got a cold, but that, it happens.
But what's a normal trip for you to Disney? Is it always 10 out of 10? I feel like you're a 10 out of 10 guy for Disney. Like,
no, Gwen and I took a trip a couple years ago that I remember telling her, like, we could take a break. Because I remember just being like, well, the first trip after COVID, well, it was still kind of tilted during COVID. That one was rough. Okay. Just because everyone went back at the same time.
Yeah.
So
I went in the thick of COVID because we caught COVID. And then I was like, well, crap, I have immunity for 3 months at least. I might as well go now. I booked a last minute trip, which I never do. But you could do that because capacity was down so much. I've got pictures of my kids in masks. It was a weird time. It was a different experience. But, I can see that. I'd say an average trip for me, if I'm trying to give this like an honest review, let's say the average is a 7 out of 10. This was a 9 out of 10 with only a couple hiccups that really weren't. 9.5. It was nothing. Yeah. Like I'm telling you, I had the time of my life. I'm the type who would say like a Disney trip starts at a 10 out of 10 and something has to go drastically wrong for it to drop, I guess is my point. It's kind of hard to rate because it's not like a normal vacation.
Yeah.
There were so few problems. And
that's why I'm saying I didn't have really any issues.
It was great.
There was a few sicknesses along the way, but they all got handled. And, all in all, like 11-day trip is great. It was expensive, but it was great. So
I was there for
can't
5.
wait to do it again.
I was there for 5. 5's a good day amount for me. 5 to 6 days is my great sweet spot.
When Gwen and I take trips, just the two of us, we usually do like a 4 or 5 day trip. But by the end of that, you miss the kids and everything. So, I mean, you miss them all the time, but
Well, of course, yeah. Plus, you do think about them a lot because you're at Disney and they love Disney.
Yeah.
But we also plan those trips where we take the first flight out, basically, and one of the last flights home. So those arrival and departure days allow for a couple extra things. Like maybe my arrival day, I'm going to Disney Springs. Maybe my departure day, I'm going to hit up a breakfast somewhere before I have to get off. So, we play it that way a little bit to get more out of it. But, man, it was a great time. A lot of exciting things coming up. I think this podcast is going to be great. I think this podcast is going to be fun because we're going to be like 80 years old hating our lives in a nursing home, probably in the same room somehow. And we'll just be watching reruns of this podcast. Trying to
setting up the YouTubes,
the glory days, as we'll say. So
I mean, it's a nice thing about YouTube is it's keeping it all out there. It's doing an actual journal. So So guys, stay with us. Stay with us. We're going to be out here each week, and at least for the foreseeable future. And if there's anything you guys want us to talk about, Disney or not Disney, or you got questions, or all that kind of stuff, hit us up, and we'll be happy to talk about it.
Yep. Shout out to Brad for that $20 deposit to our Patreon.
My guy.
Yep. All right. With that, I'm going to lead us out, and we'll see you next Monday.
All right. See you
later.